I'm back. It's another Mahoraga video with another anime. At this point, I'm just going to have to turn it into a series. I've put him against JoJo's, a Cyberman, and now we're putting him against All Might. Now, quick rundown of Mahoraga's stats. He's about city block level, and he can also adapt to things given some time. And now on to the part of the video that will cause me the most pain. Scaling All Might. The issue with scaling All Might is that really nobody fucking scales MHA. A lot of the fights are more contained. For example, the attack on the USJ was inside the USJ, of course. Or the raid on the Shihai Saikai, whose name I probably just butchered, being mostly underground. There just isn't that much property damage a lot of the time, but we do have a few large feats that I will be scaling All Might with. Mainly the final fight between him and All For One. During that fight, All Might's first attack was held back by All For One, and the shockwaves destroyed a large area around them. All Might then shortly after survived an attack by All For One that destroyed a city block. All Might later went on to win this fight, using up all of his power. So we can scale him to being a bit above city block level in durability and attack potency. Now, those of you who aren't overthinking this way more than you need to as a viewer are probably thinking right about now, oh, they're equal in stats, Mahoraga will win because of his adaptation. And guess what? I'm not done scaling All Might. We're not using that version of All Might, we're going to use the peak version of All Might. But real quick, a word from our sponsor, Me. Me really likes it when you hit that like button because that makes the algorithm like me. Me also likes it when you hit the subscribe button because it helps me out a lot in the long term, and helps you out by making Me's videos pop up more, so you don't forget Me exists. Anyway, back to the video. We never really get to see him in action before he received his injury in the first major battle with All For One, but we can get an idea of it from the statement he made after defeating the Nomu at the USJ. After absolutely beating the shit out of Nomu with a barrage of attacks fast enough his regeneration couldn't keep up, he says that it took him over 300 blows, but in his prime, it could have taken him about 5. This means that by his own estimation, his prime was 60 times stronger than he was at that time. Given the fact that his fight with All For One was even later than this, and he was continuing to weaken over time, the gap between that feat and his prime capabilities would probably be even larger. Due to that, All Might in his prime would probably be city level. That's power on a scale rarely seen in My Hero Academia, although at one point Shigaraki did destroy an entire city using his quirk Decay. We see that Mahoraga has good regeneration capabilities and can adapt to attacks, but what ultimately killed him when he was fighting Sukuna was Open, or Fuga. That attack was around the same size as the crater at the end of the fight between All Might and All For One, so I'm going to say that All Might at his peak would have had way more destructive force than that. All things considered, All Might would probably just one-shot Mahoraga. Even if he did one-shot him, he could probably figure out Mahoraga's skill before he gets a chance to adapt enough, and give him the Nomu treatment. Now that I think about it, Mahoraga is really just the original Nomu on steroids. But against peak All Might without his injury, he would be screwed. Anyway, that's about it for this video, and if you didn't immediately go to another video when you heard me say that, I've got a surprise for you. Like and subscribe and hit me up on Discord with a screenshot and I'll give you a shout out. Because I just can't emphasize how much those things help me in the algorithm. Thanks for watching and have a good one.